Hey guys, this is Jody with the Whiskey Rebellion Barcast, and the bar's now open. Remember, always drink responsibly. That's what we're doing. We're social distancing. We're hanging out. I'm in my office. Zach doesn't drink, so all that stuff you see where he's driving, he's not drinking and driving, and we definitely don't support that. Um, and then, of course, you see everybody else is just sitting here. With that being said, guys, welcome to the show, and tell us, hey Billy, tell us what you're drinking, and Rob, and of course Zach, and so on.
Okay, so tonight I have a crowd favorite, the Buffalo
Buffalo
Trace.
Trace, yeah.
I love Buffalo Trace. A little bit about me: I'm a chef, 44 years old, originally born and raised right here in Miami. I'm a huge cigar fan, professional chef, 20 plus years, and I'm grateful to be a part of this tonight.
Absolutely. Hey, what kind of notes are you getting from the Buffalo Trace?
From the Buffalo Trace, I like it. Well, for me, it has a nice mouthfeel. Um, I like to let it open up a little bit. Depending on the mood I'm in, I either like it neat or I make my own ice cubes. So I like to keep it chilled. I got a nice woody flavor, some good notes, a little bit of leather, a little bit of chocolate, not much. And I just love the overall feel of it. It's a favorite of mine's. It's something that I definitely keep in stock. I think I got 5 bottles aside from this one I have open. So here in Miami, things are not all that easy to come by. Buffalo Trace, Eagle Rare, Taylor, Staggs Jr. I got the whole gamut of stuff, but it's all stuff that's hard to come by.
So, what's the price point on like Buffalo Trace down in Miami?
Well, I got lucky probably about a month and a half ago. Like every other person, going to Costco, not paying any attention, and I walked past a little liquor store, and I was like, "What? Buffalo Trace?" And it was 19.99. I said,
Nice.
"Okay,
Yeah. At
here we
Costco's?
go." At Costco,
Yeah.
so I
I'm waiting for
snagged
our
2 bottles
Costco
for
to do that.
myself. Yeah. And then actually somebody else on one of the pages that I'm on says, "Listen, I'll pay you if you grab me a couple of bottles," because he couldn't even get it. So I said, okay. Went back the next day, grabbed him 2 bottles, went to the post office, shipped them off to him. So yeah. And for me, I like to try a lot of new stuff. I mean, I have some staples that I keep, but as a chef, I like different flavors. I like to see what people are doing. I like to see how stuff flows with foods and cigars and stuff like that.
I was getting ready to ask you about that. It's how we met. Billy likes to, every picture I've ever seen of him, he's got a cigar and a glass of bourbon. So, any particular brand of cigars that's your go-to?
I love the Padrones, the 7,000, La
Yeah.
Roma de Cuba, Brick House, Factory Smoke, CAO. Uh, I like Gurkhas. A lot of people are not fans of them because they have a lot of spice, some of them, but I like Gurkhas. And again, with cigars, I'm into trying new stuff. I like Bolivars. Believe it or not, I feel like Cuban cigars are good, yes, but I feel like right now in the cigar world, so many good stuff, so much good stuff going on that Cuban cigars are just a thing that people want to have. They're not
Hmm.
necessarily, oh, they're better or because you can't get them, this, that, and the other. But really and truly, the stuff that we're getting now, like Rocky Patel has some great stuff. The Edge, the Decade. I mean, it's just beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. I got what 3 humidors here at home, more
Nice.
ashtrays and lighters than I can count. And it's
I
so
have a
funny. My wife
makeshift
thinks,
humidor here that I made.
"Hey, listen, it whatever works."
I don't. I'm
Dean
not a. I'm
upstairs.
actually allergic to smoke, so I don't smoke that often.
Okay.
Cigars, but I went definitely on a nice like fall day, like if we were going to have college football this year. Uh, you know, when you're sitting outside and the trees are already changing and all, and you have a nice cigar and a nice wind blowing, I can definitely have one then. I just have to be cognitive that it's going to affect me later
Got it.
and I
Okay.
can't smoke the whole thing either. So, but that's cool, man. Let's get to Rob real fast, but I do want to ask you real quick before we go to Rob. You said something about Cubans, and if I think we talked about this earlier. You lived in Miami, or you live in Miami.
Yes. Yes.
and that is a Cuban hotspot for people, for residents, constituents, and stuff. Can
Right.
you get Cuban cigars down there as well?
You can get them. The thing about it is you have to know the person who you're dealing with.
Mm,
Only because people feel like, oh, it's such a mystique to having Cuban cigars and this, that, and the other. And when I tell you there's more counterfeits than you can shake a stick at, and it's mainly because people don't know what it is that they're looking for. Some of the best Cuban cigars don't even have bands on them.
right.
People are just all about cohibas. Okay, I get the mystique of it, the whole Miami Vice thing. I got a cohiba cigar, and it's just a thing where there's something so much better. You know, it's just, if I'm gonna buy a box of cigars from you for $400, I gotta somehow be in an agreement that you're not gonna pull one over on me.
Of course. Of
I
course.
mean, that's a lot of money for a box. I mean, you can get a really beautiful box of Padrones for less than $200, and you know what you're getting. You get them from like Total Wines or ABC or your local cigar vendor, and you know what you're getting. You know the people who you're dealing with. So for me, I like them because I got some really nice ones that are old and almost impossible to get. But I can tell you honestly, the last time I smoked a Cuban cigar was probably almost 2 years ago.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to make this all the Billy show,
Okay.
but anyway, Rob,
Yep.
tell us about what you got going on there, and then I'll tell you what I got, and then we'll. Oh, hey, you're drinking some antique. That's some good stuff.
Yeah.
I cracked my antique. So I managed to find two bottles this week
I
in
seen
two
that
different
post. I seen that
styles.
post on Bourbon Nation. By the way, people on Bourbon Nation, if you're listening to the show, hit us up. Send me a. My name's Jody Lamont. Send me a DM. I'll send you the link, and boom, you're on the show with us. That's how me and Billy met. And it's how me and
Yeah.
Rob met. Me and Zach known each other a little longer, so yeah, there's that.
Yeah. I, that post I posted yesterday from the Giant Eagle, which is a local supermarket up here, had an AV. I got more response to that post than anything I've posted in the last 3 months. There's like 85 comments in that, 274 likes. I got more. I was laying in the hotel bed last night. I had more DMs from guys going, "Hey, can you go back here? Can you get that? Can you get any more of that? Can you ship it to me?" I'm like, if you read the stickers that are in that post, it says
One at a
there's
time.
a limit, man. I'll go back and see what they got, but don't forget, I posted this now. It's probably all gone because
Yeah.
there's multiple guys in Ohio that said, "Where's that in Cleveland?" So,
Yeah.
but yeah, this is first time drinking the antique. I really like this special reserve. I like that weeded bourbon in the special reserve. This one's a little more oaky than the special reserve, but it's nice and smooth. It is definitely the step up, but it goes in a different direction. Like I said, it's oakier, it's woodier, I guess. Um, but yeah, I think I'll be enjoying this. I've got cracked one. I got one to take home. I got one at home. I did pick up a Michter's bourbon yes on Monday, and I got a Buffalo Trace yesterday as well. I have both those on the shelf, and I'm like, I just went in to buy some chips and some soda for the Giant to bring back to my
I'll tell you
hotel
what,
room. I'm like,
you are the man when it comes to grocery
Yeah.
shop shopping. I have seen you post more stuff in the grocery store, and I'm going, dude, my grocery store has cheap wine and beer. We don't have liquor here. Now I know down in Florida you guys have it in your stores as well.
Yeah,
But
we do.
but anyway, so I'm drinking one of my favorites. And this is I've only been drinking this for about a month maybe now. My boy down at the my liquor store, Bobby, he's probably watching because he called me about the barrel bourbon that we're going to try to get stickered with our logo and stuff on it. But anyway, it's Rabbit Hole. It is the straight bourbon that's aged minimum 4 years, Kentucky bourbon. It is in a sherry cast, and what I get from it is I definitely love the oak and the wood taste. And what I typically don't like from a lot of sherry cast is how sweet they are. And Woodford Reserve makes an awesome Masters distilled sherry cast, and then which I have downstairs, and Belle Meade makes a great one as well. And neither one of none of those three are really sweet, but you can just barely pick up on the fruits and the sweetness a little bit. And it has a nice aftertaste that doesn't sustain for a long period of time. Nice peppers that are in it. I mean, it's just good. I like it. So that's what I'm having, and I can see Zach went black again because he's driving. Zach, what you got going down? How was hockey tonight?
It was good. Sorry, I had to pull over. I'm supposed to be doing some hockey related stuff this weekend, and they just text me and said, "Hey, you need to check the schedule because everything's changed from like 2 hours ago." So yeah, hockey is good. What am I drinking? So I have a whole bunch of this stuff in a bottle.
Whey protein. All right.
Yeah, 2 scoops of that, and we'll see. It's probably a waste. My body can only absorb like half of it, but I like the
Human
flavor.
body can only absorb 24,
Yeah.
grams, and
Yep.
a professional athlete can absorb sometimes up to 26. And though I work out all the time and you do too, I would not consider either one of us in that category.
No, yeah, no.
The rest of it's
Without
coming out
taking,
in the El Baño.
Yeah.
yeah, I'll pee it out here probably an hour or so. But that's all I got going on. Hockey was good. I'm playing, and you know what? Let me back up. Billy, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
It's awesome to have you, and I personally think we should have a cook-off now between you and Rob.
Honestly, I just want to
Ooh.
have a live show where you guys are both
Ooh.
send us a
Yes.
recipe and we are
Yes.
cooking it at the exact same time.
Yep.
That's
Okay.
what
No,
I want to do.
that's gonna happen.
Yes, absolutely.
I played hockey down in Fort Myers on the Gulf Coast for a little bit, and I wanted to get to Miami, but it just didn't work out. I spent too much time screwing around with the manatees to do anything else. Um, that's a true story, by the way. I those animals are so cool that, and I figured out how to like feed and water them. That yeah,
And water them?
that is
They're already in the water.
no, like you put the hose down in the canal, and then they come up and drink from it, and then they wave it, and you have a good conversation. It was a good time. And then we got attacked. We got attacked by fire ants in the parking lot. We were hanging out, drying off our stuff, and all of a sudden, one of my teammates just starts like, it's like your dad dancing at the wedding, kind of dancing around the parking. We're like, what's wrong with Scott? Well, he was getting eaten alive by fire ants. It was hilarious. So that's my Florida story. So welcome, Billy, and thanks for joining us.
Yeah,
That's
my
pretty much,
pleasure.
yeah. No, so Billy, I don't have a lot to contribute in the booze world or cigar world. I bought my grandpa cigarettes once when I was like 18, and I didn't really know what I was doing. He liked those Swisher Sweets. I'll always remember this. The smell was kind of awful.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it gets better.
No,
I would,
No, not really.
but I was going to ask you because me and Jody are big sports fans. Are you a Dolphins fan or a Hurricanes guy or?
Unfortunately, I am a Dolphins fan for life.
Okay, all right.
I'm a fan. Everything. Anything having to do with Florida sports, I'm a fan.
Okay.
It's going to be interesting having Tom Brady over with the Bucks now.
Yeah.
That's going to be quite the transition when you're trained to, hope a guy gets shot in the hand.
Yeah, that's funny.
So it's interesting. But no, I'm a big sports fan. I love everything Miami. And we're very fortunate. We're one of the cities that has like all major sports. So of course, before COVID, Miami is the kind of place where there was always something to do. No matter what time of year it was, there was some sports going on. We got beautiful facilities. I mean, we just had a Super Bowl, earlier this year.
Right.
Here in Miami. And, We've had more Super Bowls than anybody, so it's a beautiful time almost year round. Right now is our rainy kind of hurricane season, but you get some rain. But more than anything, I mean, for like the past 2 weeks, it's been 95 degrees plus every day.
And
Okay.
about 10,000% humidity.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
one thing
was
I
in
remember is
Miami
the
last year,
humidity.
so I remember. So I was like, oh my God, I don't want to walk anywhere. I don't want to drive anywhere. I don't want to leave my hotel
no,
room. And I was like, this is miserable. I was flying from, um, actually, I was in Fort Lauderdale, but it's, they're right there close to each other. And I flew from Fort Lauderdale to the Bahamas, where I was on orders. So, and you were talking about the military, 21 years. So I've been in the military 21
wow.
years.
Thank
So
you for your service.
thank
I
you. I appreciate
appreciate
it.
it.
And I meant to say that
Yeah.
earlier when you were talking about you come from a family of military and that which I love. I wish more people. I honestly wish, and this sounds so cliche, but being a person that's been in for 21 years and retires this year, I wish more people would say, you know what, evaluate themselves before they actually come into it because it's not for everyone. You'll have
Hmm.
some people that come in and they've been serving since lunch, a couple weeks into the military, and then that same attitude they have a couple weeks transitions into their first tour, which is within their first 2 years in the military, and then so on and so on. And you're like, and they can't wait to get out. And they're the people that's always in trouble. They're the ones that can't make formations, can't be on time to whatever the watch is or whatever it might be, and you just can't trust them. And if they would have just said, "Hey, look, there's got to be another way," just because my family done it, and just because I might be a very capable mind of doing this isn't really what I want to do. If they would just say that, because I mean, I'm not sure I was there when I first came in. I mean, I was all gun ho, this, that, and whatever, but I remember going, "Oh, this sucks. This absolutely sucks." you know. And then
Yeah.
everything I went through was also, it was like, this freaking sucks. I volunteered for this nonsense. This is stupid, So I can only imagine. So I do appreciate that. I can truly appreciate that. It's the same thing with, and Zach understands this because he was one of the faculty as well at the university I work at. That some people need not to go and try to pursue a graduate degree. It's not just given out. It's you have to really have you have to have the time in your life. You have to have the design in your head of what you want to do and how you're going to pursue it. And then you also have to know, you have to be able to visualize it at the end. And like I truly admire your story when I was listening to you prior to the show. You talking about, you one of the big takeaways I got from that was you quit a freaking high dollar good job on a Sunday to open up your own business on a Monday. Holy hell, that takes some,
Yeah.
Takes a lot of courage. Yeah. Oh yeah.
you know what I'm
That's
saying?
cool.
And
Yeah.
that is freaking amazing. I mean, it gives me chills just thinking about it because, I've been saying that for years. My wife would tell you that my ultimate goal is to open up my own bar called the Whiskey Rebellion, and have it as like almost like a speakeasy. I can't pull the trigger because there's so much, like I have a good job, you know, and you have the income coming in and you're like, I'm not sure if I don't know that I have that fortitude yet to do it. So freaking amazing story. I don't mean to get sidetracked with that, but,
No, no, no.
No,
It's
no,
fine.
that's
but
awesome. Yeah. So I am. I'm gonna take a second to respond to this text and try to figure out what the deal is because I don't see any changes in what this lady's saying. And also I pulled into a little strip mall and there's a liquor store and there's a like Asian nail place right next to it. So if I'm a little later, it's because I decided to go in and make myself look pretty.
get a
I'll
happy ending.
Uh-oh.
well, it depends. I don't I don't want to pay a lot of money. I'm cheap, so there's that. But
That could be a problem.
we'll see how it
Unless you're
goes.
in
Well,
Thailand. Thailand is pretty reasonable.
$5 will go far.
That's because it's
The
bought
door.
and it's like $1.50 is like $1.50. Like they'll ask for 20 baht, 40 baht, and now this was in the 90s, but you're talking about $1.50 in American. So it was like,
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I got
They're
this.
So yeah, no, you guys do your thing. I'll hop back on here in just a minute, and Billy, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yep, we'll see you guys in a minute.
All right. Now I got a question for Rob.
Yep.
Rob, tell me a little bit about yourself since I hear you're a chef. So,
Well,
thanks for having me. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
I pretty much stepped away from being a chef. I work for a company that does food service for colleges and universities.
Okay.
Uh, I've probably not been in the kitchen in 7 years. I 30 years of being in the kitchen. I'm like, yeah, you know what? It's time to just take a step back, go out front, be a general manager, greet guests, talk with clients, make them happy, sell our food, sell our business, make a bunch of students happy. And I honestly, I love my job. I applaud you
Okay.
for going out and opening up your own place. I've always thought about it, but kind of like Jody, I can't pull that trigger. And right now, I've got more I'm from Pittsburgh. I travel. My company's got me traveling, and I've got 3 friends who closed restaurants in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I've got another. I know another at least 8 to 10 restaurants based on our governor's new restrictions. Are probably going to close in the next week to 2 weeks, and
Wow.
it's not good. He reduced capacity to you can only have 25% of your seating
Wow.
capacity.
Wow. That's a
Wow.
ton of money.
What business
Yeah.
can survive on that? You can do some takeout, and they're letting them do takeout booze. Like you can take up to 3 cocktails to go, which again makes 0 sense to me. I can't get a cocktail and sit in the restaurant or the bar. I can, if I go sit at a table, I have to buy food if I have a drink, and I can only get 3 drink maximum right now. But I can take my drink, go sit in my car, and drive around in my car with my drink I just bought. I just did it on. I went and sat on the tailgate of my car. But on Saturday night, went with some friends, and we got a couple of drinks and sat on the trunk of my car and drank out in the alley behind the restaurant.
Wow. And
I mean,
yeah, that's tough. And the food scene here in Miami was beautiful, and now it's getting crazy. Like you guys can do 25%. Just here recently, they told the restaurant industry you can only
you pulled
serve
up.
outdoors.
Yeah.
That is it. Outdoors and takeout. On Miami Beach, the curfew it went from 10 p.m. to 8 p.m. and that's
Oh,
it. So,
Mm.
and now if you get caught on the street without a mask, it's $100 fine. There's no more warnings. It's
I,
just
See,
it's
thank you
when it
very
comes,
much, pay the lady.
I don't want to make it political, so I'm not going to. That just sucks. I'll just say that. Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, don't
yeah,
get
they
me
just
wrong.
did that.
Go
Oh,
ahead,
sorry,
Zach.
Joey, go ahead.
No, no, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say they literally just passed that today in Minnesota. Uh, statewide mask mandate in public places, or you get fined. So it is what it is.
it is what it is.
I don't know how I
Yeah.
feel about it. I, I, I think that if people wore masks, it would probably prevent as much of the spread that's going around. But I think there's a lot of different variables that fall into that as well that we should have or could have prevented the spread to be even more. Um, but I don't. I think people, when you live in a world where I don't know how to put this without making it sound political, but because I don't want to do that, you can't always depend that people are going to do the right thing, and so that sucks, that because like I wear every time I go out I wear a mask, but I also only have one kidney, so that's the reason why I do that. I donated my kidney to my mother, and so I feel like the safest thing for me to do, and my whole family, we do that every time we go out, we wear masks. Um, and I try to do like drive through, like our tobacco store down the road. I know those people well. They are super awesome people, and they have a drive-through. I go through there, get my chewing tobacco, and that way I can limit the exposure and stuff. And then of course I use credit cards at the pump, and I top up my gas, and I keep, hand sanitizer and stuff like that in the car. Um, but I don't. I wish more. My wife and I were talking about this the other day because Kroger's the largest. I guess we'll call it largest grocery store, definitely in the state of Tennessee and probably in the South. Um, just passed a mandate that all partitioners that come into the store will have to have masks on, and it's a big deal. I mean, Walmart was the first major chain to do that, and then
Mm-hmm.
Costco did it, and so did the Sam's Club. But both of those, I have a Costco's card, and we go to Costco's, but it's not something I go to every week or even twice a month, to get stuff. So even though they had it, we had noticed that people in Kroger's, for example, because I tend to go to the grocery store with my wife, and people just won't do it. It's like you're in the store for like 30 minutes. Just wear a mask for 30 minutes. Take it off in the car. Be pissed off about it afterwards. I don't understand it. So I guess if there was anything to say about that is I want people to have freedoms, for sure, but I feel like they have their own personal freedom to do whatever they want to. But what's wrong with wearing a mask? I just don't get it. I really don't.
Yeah.
I like
That's
to
just my
pretend I'm a
opinion.
ninja. When I'm in the store, I'm in ninja, and I'm either getting bread or I'm rescuing my family from terror. Like a Steven Seagal movie. So hey, so Billy, you got to ask: are you a fan of like late '80s, early '90s Seagal type movies?
Yes.
Yes, I like this guy. I knew there was something I liked about him.
It's funny, Zach, you bring that up. All right, so me and my middle son, we started watching, I don't remember which sniper movie it's called, but it had great ratings, the new Steven Seagal sniper movie. All right. Dude, it sucks. Dude, give it up. That is the worst movie I've ever seen. We couldn't even finish watching it. I was like, I looked at my son. He looked at me, and I was like, can't do this. I just can't do it. Let's watch
Yeah.
something else. Just can't do it. Not good. And I even
Yeah.
like Steven Seagal. I follow him on Instagram, but I can't do it.
Can't do it, huh?
Like this is
Yeah.
suck. This is not factually correct at all. Um,
Wait, so he's on like social media?
yeah, he has an Instagram account.
All right, I'm not on Instagram, and I kind of hate Twitter. But
Yeah, I don't do Twitter. I think Twitter's stupid.
Yeah, I don't have a Twitter account.
I'm having an epiphany now, and that's either a really good like idea and it could lead to good things, or it's a scary thing. But I think we should try and track him down and invite him to the show. It's like he said in Under Siege 1, nobody beats him in the kitchen, and we seem to get a lot of chef type folk here. I think you'd have a lot to contribute.
Listen, I take him down.
Hey, listen, just don't answer, you guys. Just think about it. That's all I'm asking.
Hey, I reached out to the last person that we suggested, and that was Shitty Coolers. I'm totally down with reaching out to Steven Seagal and go, hey, look, need to have you on the show, bro. You said nobody
Yeah.
could beat you in the kitchen. We have two chefs that absolutely believe they can, and I have faith in them. Let's do it. I
Look at
mean,
a restaurant.
Tell him you got a guy on the show who's not quite right in the head, and his only wish is to talk for like 5 minutes with Mr. Seagal. See where the conversation goes. That's all I'm asking.
well, why don't you send him the text since you're talking about yourself in third person?
There you go.
Well, no, because that's where I need help from the show. If we have like an official Twitter handle or Instagram account,
We do.
Okay, good. So this is good. It looks a little bit better than. Hey,
We don't have a
this is where
Twitter
Mexican guy
account,
trying
though,
to contact me.
We don't have
That's all I'm
Twitter,
saying.
though, because I just despise Twitter. I'm like, dude, this is stupid. I don't want to
Yeah.
argue with people. And it's like, you cannot get on Twitter without getting an argument. It's like, hey, I want to tell you that, for example, I don't know, some bourbon is great. We'll just say that. I want to say that. And they're like, you support Biden or you support Trump. I'm like, what? I just said I
What
like.
does that have to do with it?
Yeah. You said make America great. And I'm like, no, I didn't. I said I like this bourbon. It was great. That's what I said. I used the term great. That was it. So I
That's it.
get
Go back
into.
up, read the original post.
What's that?
Scroll back up. Read the original post, dude.
They don't do that,
Yeah.
man. These freaking ninjas these keyboard ninjas that are out there, They don't care about any of that nonsense. They just want to get on there and just troll and be, they're sitting in their mama's basement someplace and they're just
Oh, they're
making
just
noise.
waiting to find a fight. That's what
Yeah,
it is.
that's
It was
actually
me.
funny
Um,
story. That's how David and I became friends. You haven't met David yet, but if you go back and watch one of the other videos, he is. We're not going to have politics here, but we are both on opposite sides of the spectrum. We'll just say that, all right? And
Okay.
we were having a Facebook confrontation. We'll call it that. And this is about 5 or 6 years ago. And I was like, look, dude. He said, you want to meet someplace? And I'm like, I wish you would look at my photos. I don't know if this is a great idea for you, but sure. I mean, I think we ought to go get a beer and just discuss it. I think it'd be much more reasonable that way. And so I invited him over to my house, and he showed up packing a weapon. He had it in his, and I'm like, really, dude? I got more guns in this house than you'll ever dream of. So there's no reason to even do that. I mean, it's kind of stupid too. Um,
Yeah.
but we became absolute best friends, and it was all over two guys just acting like idiots. I mean, like I said, and then what's funny is we both
so
don't talk politics to each other much anymore because we're like best friends, and it's stupid, because we're on both
Yeah.
opposite sides. However, I will tell you this to finish off that aspect: if he and I were into politics, like if we were both in legislation or something, we could actually get stuff pushed through because though we don't agree with each other and everything, we can see other person's perspective, and we would try to concede certain things. Kind of like what we actually elect our officials to do, where they kind of
Right.
concede and see, okay, well, how about I'll give you a little bit of this if you'll give me a little bit of that. And he, excuse me, unfortunately, our elected officials don't have any idea or concept of what that's about, and that doesn't matter which side you're on. So that's not political. That's called their jackassery. But anyway,
Yeah.
go ahead, Zach. You were finishing up with something.
yeah, no, I would genuinely think this is a good idea, and we should try to go on the show. But hey, speaking of social media, Billy, you mentioned that you just started a YouTube channel. Is that something that we could help promote? And maybe
Yes.
you could send a
Yes,
link in the
absolutely.
in the chat,
So my
maybe.
my thing is this. I like to share my food. I like to share my creations. It's on YouTube. It's called Be Good to Yourself. And I named it that because I think you should be good to yourself. You know, it's being good to others, absolutely, but I think it starts with yourself. So I always, at the end of my posts, I give a cheer and say, "Be good to yourself." So that's the name of the page. Um, and it's just me doing some presentations of some of my food. I've gotten really great responses on Bourbon Nation. I've got one post that got like 1,300 likes and
Nice.
tons and tons and tons of comments. And so now what I'm doing is every Saturday I'm posting the video. And what's going to end up being with the page is I'm going to review the food that I made. I'm going to review some juice and also a cigar all together. So,
I dig it.
yeah, I think
I'm
it'll be
trying to find it
interesting, really cool.
on YouTube right now.
Yeah, called Be Good to Yourself.
Hmm.
I am a cigar smoker myself as well.
Okay, now we're
If you
talking.
if you look
Now
at
we're talking.
the video that Jody just did for the start of this week, I'm smoking it's made by Oscar Vallartas.
Okay.
He makes a line for it's called Leaf by Oscar.
Is that you?
Okay. That's it.
All right, I'm gonna share it
All right. Thank
on our
you.
page. No worries, man. Dude, I'm
You
I'm
see,
telling you, I wish more people would join the show because of this. This is what I want is I want people to be engaged and involved. And dude, we're all here to help each other. I started this page for the sheer purpose to connect people from all over the United States, all over the world. I mean, we even got what's called Zoom bombed, like in the early days when we first did this, and that was Zach, you were on that, wasn't you? It got a little crazy. And they were from Scotland, is that right?
I think they were all English
Yeah, well, you know how we
because
feel
that
about
one
them.
the leader of the whole thing joined us for like one meeting afterward, and he sounded a lot like Mel.
Yeah, he did.
And don't get me wrong, Mel's sweet. He's a super cool dude.
He's gonna
I
listen to
wish
this in the
the
morning
heck
and
that
go, I'm sweet.
Mel, if you're seeing this, we miss you, buddy.
We
But
do.
yeah, no,
That's true.
that was wild, and it was on the after show too, wasn't it? Or was that at the end of the
It
show?
was
I
at the
can't
after
remember.
show. Yeah, it was on the after show.
Yeah, yeah, that was wild.
Yeah, that was an enhanced after show,
Yeah.
to
And
say
for
the
me,
least.
I want to just, I know sometimes, you see a cooking show on TV and you're like, what is that? Or how did they do that? And sometimes it seems like it's almost impossible to get answers. So with me, I want to try to connect with anybody who asks a question, anybody who wants a recipe, or how'd you do this, or how'd you do that? And, I'm not one of these chefs that, oh no, it's some secret that I got to take to the grave and I'm not going to share with it. So for me,
I love Billy.
I want to connect with the people. Listen, if you got a question, if you're in the middle of cooking something, listen, DM me, message me. Hell, I'll give you my phone number. Call me up and I'll walk you through it.
Love this. I knew as soon as I found you on Facebook, I was like, this guy, and the other guy's Mark, and he hadn't got that I reached out to this week as well. Actually, I reached out to both you guys within the last 48 hours. I've reached out to a bunch of other people, but you two guys, when I seen the two of you guys, I was like, these two guys just are. They seem like they're Whiskey Rebellion type people where it's
Yeah,
they would
definitely.
understand that one, we don't talk politics. Two, we're all about trying to connect and love one another and have a good time. And I mean, when we have 7, 8 people on the show, which we've had numerous times on the live show, um, one of the things that's cool about it is we've had several people who don't drink, and we're just sitting here having bar talk and we're having conversation and we're just spreading, doing that thing that we all can't do right now, and that's we're mitigating social distances by using a medium that's out there for us, So I
Absolutely.
think it's awesome.
And,
Rob,
and for
I like
me,
that watch, man. What kind of watch you got going on there? High roller?
That's another Invicta.
got to be.
I mean, you
Is
sitting
it
here like
so?
this, like, I just want to make sure you
Yeah.
guys see this.
Make sure you catch the watch in there, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the reason why I do this number all the time. I'm like, ugh,
Gun
ugh.
show. That boy giving out tickets to the gun show. Come get him.
Exactly.
You're down or Invictus, right? Their factories in Miami. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I got several Invictus. I got Subnomas. I got Venoms. You name it, I got them.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Outside of, I started collecting watches about 5 years ago.
Okay.
I'm up to, I try to limit what I spend on watches, but I'm up to like 15, 16 different Invictus.
Nice. And
I
you
do
probably
like
noticed already, but a great place to get them is not promoting anybody, but Shop NBC.
That's one of the few places I get them.
Okay. So
Oh yeah.
I feel like I'm home.
I used to be really big into watches back in the day, but I honestly I think I turned my love towards bourbon and guns. Like those are my two big things. I am
Okay.
always purchasing some type of new firearm or device that sends a round down range. I live in the country, so that's kind of how I break that spirit of, like monotony of the day is that, and then I'll finish with that and I'll go, you know what, I'm gonna have a nice bourbon and I don't know, have deep thoughts with somebody or, look at my
Hey,
dogs. I don't know.
I get it.
So.
Yeah,
But I used to
absolutely.
really be into it. At one time. I still have a bunch of them. My wife actually says it all the time. She's like, "Are you gonna get batteries for those things?" I have some really high dollar Movados and Belovas, and I have the old what are those called? The old ones that were had the different colors, fossil watches that they used to do back in the day.
Fossils, yeah.
Back in the day where they had the different faces on them. I bet I have 12 different face color of the fossils,
Nice.
and
Nice.
from back in the day. But then I stopped. It was like 2005 rolled around, and I was like, yeah, well, I'm done with that. That was fun for the last 7 years
Yeah.
of my life.
Well, that's what happened. Our taste changed. I've been a car guy as long as I can remember. And I had cars that were slammed to the ground. I had cars where the engines were overbuilt. And now I'm a Jeep guy, and I don't know. I love the life. you know?
Jeep. That's nice.
Yeah.
Actually, I love Jeeps, and I would like to own a Jeep. And my wife showed me this old 1970s model Jeep two door, and she's like, "You look great driving this." I'm like, "No, I mean it's a Jeep. I agree with you. I would look great in
Yeah.
anything but a Prius, but 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 yeah, absolutely. I would love to have that, and because I mean that's kind of my lifestyle. Is I like to be out. I mean, we live in the country. I like to be outdoors. And not right now though, because it's hot as hell outside. I like to be
Right.
indoors right now. Indoors. Indoors is where all the action's at right now. Uh, but uh, but soon as late
Right.
September rolls around, boom, I'm back outdoors, and I'm outdoors every weekend, every day until it's hot as hell again, and then I'm like
Yeah.
over this. Then I'm back indoors. So most of the time in the summer, I spend most of my summer indoors or on family vacations. But outside of that, I'm indoors. It's just too hot, man. And the humidity is just ridiculous here.
Yeah. It's
Uh,
it's tough.
it is.
Nah, I got a
So,
question for you guys.
What's up?
What is
oh
it
yeah,
that you what is it that you guys on a regular basis say what would be your everyday pour for you guys? Like I
Uh,
love Bullet. Me and my wife, my wife, I gotta I tell my wife, listen to the monsters you make. My wife loves Bullet. She will go out and buy it by herself.
that's
Yeah.
awesome. Uh,
Yeah.
for me, everyday pour for me is Blanton's. I buy it by the case. I have a great hookup locally, and I buy it by the case, and that is my everyday go-to is
Okay.
Blanton's. Um, I will be honest with you. I think I expressed this on the last show we had. Blanton's should be at MSRP, roughly of a price point about $50, and you will not find it in Tennessee anywhere for under $70 probably per bottle.
Wow.
I don't know what it's like in Florida, but I do know here is ridiculous. I will tell you one of the things I like to get that's in Florida is horse soldier. I love
Yes.
horse soldier. I think it's great. You can't get it here in Tennessee at all, and I actually like it. I'm a big supporter of that. That's the only, and I try to support everything military, but that is the only one from the military that I look at and go, wow, that is absolutely, you guys nailed it. It's perfect. And it really is good
Okay.
to me. It's good
is
bourbon.
it called horse shoulder or horse shoulder? I
Horse
can't hear very good.
soldier.
So
Like it's an
neither. Okay.
army guy, soldier.
Yeah. Like I'm on a horse and I'm a
Yeah,
soldier.
like the Iron Maiden tune, the Trooper, one of my favorites.
Iron Maiden. Man, I was talking about
Yeah,
them
yeah,
2 days ago. That is a great band.
yeah. So, daily
Come
pours.
to
Uh,
the hills.
yeah. Billy asked about daily pours. If I'm feeling kind of lively, I might hit up the local Dollar General and pick up some diet good beer. That stuff is good and it doesn't have any carbs or anything like that. I have some
Has no
stomach
sugar
problems, so
either. Has no, I mean, I'm sorry, no caffeine.
right, yeah, it's good
So it's
stuff.
good
It's
for your
good stuff.
heart. I mean, you'll have
Zach, you're
gas.
such a rebel. I tell you,
I
you
have
live on the
well,
edge every day.
no, no, because I have to nerf the drink. My stomach
Nerf.
doesn't take carbon. Well, the problem is I can't do carbonation, so I have to like flatten it mightily before I can drink it. I have some stomach problems that don't like carbonated drinks, but yeah, if I'm feeling adventurous, kind of frisky, even I might you know. I'm just saying I'm on A&W's website under their Hall of Fame. That's it. That's all I'm saying. Wait, do you guys have A&W root beer? Minnesota,
Yes,
it's
we do.
big up
We do
there.
have it here. We do have it here.
Okay.
What about you, Rob? What's your everyday pour, brother?
And it really just depends on what kind of mood I'm in. Like I'll go out and hunt for some higher end, expensive stuff that I'll keep on the shelf and pour a drink here, a drink out of, or there out of. But if I'm doing something mixed at home, what I've really found, Evan Williams White Label, the bottled and bond
Yeah, that's good.
white, you can get it
Their single
like
barrel's good too.
$7.99 a bottle, and it blends, it mixes great in cocktails. It mixes great with Coke Zero. It's good on. It's good sip. It's a good sip on the rocks, on even neat. And for $17.99, you can't go
Can't beat
wrong.
it.
So,
Yeah.
so real quick, before we get to Billy's, well, I guess I want to go to Billy's first, and then we'll answer this. So, I rarely, if ever, mix drinks. And not granted, I did some videos on the page where I mixed some drinks because I was trying to show people the different types of
Hmm.
drinks you have. But my preference is to drink. I I know there's a lot of people out there like like things that are neat, and some drinks I do like neat. But uh, for the most part, I like everything on ice. But that's the only
Okay.
way I'll drink it was on ice because I like to feel it open up with the water,
Yeah, absolutely.
and so that's my preference. Um, but I guess after you go to your everyday, let's talk about what if people mix. What do you mix? What do you make? You know,
If I have to mix anything, I would do a little bullet and Coke. It
that's right. You
goes
started
down
with
nice
Bullet
and
was your
smooth.
everyday.
Yeah. And it's funny, you talk about you can get Blanton's by the case. If you can find it here in Miami, you're paying anywhere from $90 to $120 a bottle. And I've seen it as high as 160.
Well, I can tell you
If you
this.
can get it.
I can tell you this. We're already buddies. If you need a bottle, you let me know, and we'll work out some type of mutual trade. Because I'd rather you send me something I can get,
Okay?
and we work out a trade that way. Um,
Absolutely.
and I also like rum too. So if it can be in those stratospheres of things. So,
Okay.
but we'll
Beautiful.
talk offline about that because I can
Okay.
get that literally by the case every time. So
Okay.
we'll
Beautiful.
make that happen, and I can be your Doctor Feel Good for
There you go.
for
That
Blanton's.
is that is that is it.
I'm known as Daddy
Um,
Blanton's. I have Blanton's all. I mean, I have Blanton's in my office right now. It's sitting right there. See, I'll show
wow.
you. It's sitting right next to my Rock Hill Farms, but I have Blanton's in here too. And it's sitting
And
beside. It's sitting in between Stag. So I mean, that's what I keep in my office. So
wow. Like here, I know one place that has like three bottles of Stags, and it's like $400 a bottle. I actually got my hands on a bottle of Stags Junior, which I have.
that's good
But like
stuff too, by
Eagle
the way.
Red, yeah, I
I
like
like it.
that.
I like it.
Um, yeah, so and I'm very fortunate that my wife indulges my habits. She likes to have a cigar with me. She likes to have a
Ah,
drink
that
with
is
me.
cool. That's sexy too.
So it's a beautiful thing. We sit outside and under the stars and we talk and we have a drink.
That's awesome.
And it I couldn't ask for a better wife. And you know, with everything going on, every day I have to pray for my wife because she's a police officer.
Oh wow.
And she's on the front lines and she's dealing with people, and they don't tell you if they got COVID, and just the situations that she has to walk in. And especially with everything going on lately with you know cops being vilified and stuff like that. And I look at it like this: I don't think there's no such thing as a bad cop. And in every profession there's people who just shouldn't be in it.
Right. I totally
That's
agree. We started with that
that's
earlier.
just it.
Yes.
you
There's
know
certain people.
and so I don't think any police department on the face of the planet says, well, we got 100 good cops, we need two bad cops. I don't think that happens. There's people who just shouldn't be behind the badge, plain and simple. you know
Brother, I'm with you a
and
thousand percent.
you
And you
A
know
know what?
thousand percent.
Our business, man. There are just some people who shouldn't be in the kitchen, man.
absolutely,
Hey, do me a favor,
absolutely.
Billy. When we,
Yeah,
I don't want you to say it on the show, but because I like to, and we're not talking about, I don't want to get into a faith thing, but I do like to pray for our officers. If you would send me your wife's name so I can add her to my prayer list, I'd appreciate that.
absolutely,
If
absolutely.
you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
So
but
I definitely do that.
All right, so mixers.
Yeah. Hey, my phone might die. Yeah, I'm that guy. I forgot to charge my phone. If it does unexpectedly, I either got into a violent crash or it died. One of the two. Either way, we're gonna have a good time, boys. So, yay! What do I like to mix for drinks, though?
you like to make, do you mix your, hey, as a fellow workout person to another fellow workout person, do you like to
Yeah.
mix your whey protein in anything other than water, or do you put it? How do you do that? Because that's a valid question.
That is a fair question, my friend. Yes, I am severely lactose intolerant. Otherwise, I would drink a
Oh
gallon
my
of milk
God,
a
are you not
day.
allergic to everything?
Lactose and deer meat are the only things I know I can't handle, and carbonated drinks. But
I can tell
that's
you what, real
because
quick. If you can't have venison, you're not welcome in my house.
all right. Can I? Hey, listen. Can I like just sit outside then, and you can toss stuff out the window, and I'll try to catch it with my mouth at least.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely,
I'm
absolutely.
not asking for a lot. I'll watch for cougars and
They come out here.
So yeah, no, I like we just get lactose free milk, and I'll put protein in milk sometimes if I need the calories.
Have you had any of the almond milk?
Yep. Almond milk is good because it's low calorie and it adds a texture and a flavor.
Yep, agree with you.
I like coffee and like non-dairy creamer a lot. Otherwise, I drink more water than probably should, but that's good. It's good.
Doubt it. I drink more water than you can ever dream of.
It's important to stay hydrated. So
I
if my
drink
phone
almost 2
dies,
gallons a day.
I apologize for that, folks. I'll be back on Monday, and maybe my teeth will be whiter. Who knows? I'll try to brush them. But let's hear what do y'all like to mix together? And is there a certain event or circumstance that warrants mixing one drink versus another? Go.
All right, for me, I will tell you that I prefer not to mix anything. However, there are a couple things that I've made. The hibiscus smash that you make with rum that you can't make it any other way than to mix it, and that is fabulous. I posted that for people watching. If you want to go back and see it, it's a few slides back or a few videos back, probably about 20 videos back, but. Around Mother's Day is where I made it because I made a whole bunch of it for all the mothers that were at my house, which was more than two. Um, my preference is not to mix is honestly not to mix bourbon at all. Now on whey protein, I usually make it with my oatmeal is how I like to ingest whey protein, and I do also do almond. Um, type of like I guess milkshakes or shakes or something like that with my whey protein. But I will also tell you that I also don't take a lot of whey protein. I like to just eat steak and red meat and have muscles. So there you go. There's me.
There you go.
So I've found, and I'm gonna sound like an alcoholic, but
I've seen your posts. It may be true.
Yeah, it may be. It really is a mood thing. So I love just sitting down and enjoying a good bourbon, a good scotch on the rocks, sipping up, neat. But if I go to, it really depends on the bar that I go into. If I'm in a higher end bar that I know is like known for their cocktails, where they've really got the traditionally trained old school bartenders who aren't using maraschino cherries or Rose's lime juice to make their drinks with it. They're the guys sitting there and you can see them squeezing the fresh lemon juice sours to make a good whiskey sours.
Mint julep. I'm with you on that too. That's a good one too.
Yeah.
One of the places I love to hang out when I'm on the western side of Ohio is in Tiffin. It's called the Renaissance. And they make this freaking whiskey sour, and they do the original recipe where they crack and put the egg white into it, and they shake it up, and it gets that nice thick creamy foam on the top with just a little drizzle of Luxardo cherry juice and one Luxardo cherry in there. Man, is one of the best drinks when it's made right, and during the summer on a nice hot day. You go in there at the end of the day, and it's nice, refreshing, lemony whiskey sour. Man.
So then what in the name of Rocky Balboa is a whiskey sour then? Because you said something about drinking eggs, and I'm picturing him down in that with some scotch in the other. I can't.
There's no scotch involved.
All right. Okay. We're getting somewhere then. You got to understand my mind is very simple. So Rob, how does egg factor into any kind of alcoholic drink? That just seems weird.
The original whiskey sours recipe was fresh squeezed lemon juice, a whiskey of your
That's
choice. It could
ridiculous.
have been bourbon. It could have been a
Right.
Canadian. It could have been. It could be a rye.
I was just doing
Your
that to him
rye, your
earlier,
lemon juice, and
right
they
here.
used an egg white. They didn't put the yolk into it. They
You
just
needed
used
to.
the egg white. So, and it's just that drink. It's shaken really, really strong, really, really strong. So when they pour it into the glass, you get a nice little creamy foam on the top. It's the texture that you get from that is I really do love it. I love a good old fashioned when an old
So,
fashioned is made.
do people drink it just have iron stomachs and they're like immune to salmonella and stuff like that then too, or
Well, it's got alcohol in it. It kills all that.
Yeah,
okay, all right, that makes sense.
You're missing
yeah.
the primary
So, is there
component.
any actual whiskey in a whiskey sour?
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
whiskey.
I heard bourbon. So maybe I misheard because I heard bourbon.
Bourbon and
Yes.
whiskey are the same thing, except for one's aged 4 years and has to come out of
Well, darn it,
a one-time used oak barrel, um, and essentially from Kentucky. Though
all right.
the argument would be
Well,
that it could
hey,
be anywhere in the United States.
All right.
There you go. Kind of gave you
hey,
the
to
short
all
story.
Here's a little
Oh, it
hint
has to
for you.
be also cut at 120 below as well.
Yeah.
Proof.
And
so like
for
I thought you were mentioning degrees because in Minnesota that's normal in like the December months. You guys just come up here. You know, instead of doing that, what we like to do is we like to eat snow. Try to avoid the yellow snow.
yeah, they don't want to do that.
All right. So
For
yeah, tell us, Billy. What do you got going on?
for for as far as like Rob, I like my stuff either neat or on the rocks. If I have to mix anything, if we're not doing bourbon or something like that, coconut rum and sweet iced tea. It's called an ice pick.
Ah,
It is
coconut
absolutely
rum and sweet
delicious.
iced tea. That does sound
Yeah,
good.
it's
Different than
it's very refreshing. It's perfect for a hot summer day, but beware, you don't if you do it right, you don't taste the alcohol. So you knock back 3 or 4 of these things and you try to get up on your feet, you got something coming. But
So
everybody I've,
so
I've told about this drink, they love it. And it could be any sweet iced tea of your choice,
so
any
16
coconut
ounces, real
rum.
quick. So 16
Yeah.
ounces is in your normal pint glass. All right.
Hmm.
So if you were filling that with ice, I would imagine. How high do you fill the ice first?
I would probably say about halfway.
All right. So halfway. So how
Yeah.
much of the coconut rum do you put in there?
I would say no more than 3 to 4 ounces,
So wow.
depending on what your
So
glass is about.
2 shots because a
Yeah.
shot is 1.5.
Uh-huh. You're not trying to get bent over with one drink. You're
Try
really
to
meant
get
to
back.
enjoy it.
I know, but I'm just sitting here thinking about this. So that's about this much in the bottom,
Yeah.
and then you're filling the rest of it with sweet iced
With
tea,
sweet iced tea.
and
Absolutely.
you have it on a hot summer day, and try not to drink
Listen,
more than three.
it's a beautiful thing because
I like it.
you got the sweetness of the iced tea and you taste something, you know something's there, but it's not like, whoa, what is this? Where you're
Yeah.
just overpowered with rum. It's like, whoa, it's not that kind of thing that you think to yourself, oh, this is gonna have me somewhere praying to a porcelain god. No, it's not the case.
Maybe
It's
after
meant to
five of
be a
those.
yeah, yeah. It's meant to be a real simple, real nice drink, and you don't have to have this wonderful educated palate about rums and whiskeys and stuff like that. Just real simple, no crazy ingredients. Anybody can mix it. Take a spoon, stir it, and you're done. But again, like I said, like Rob, I like it on the rocks or neat, and that's really it. And again, like Rob said, it depends on the mood. um, I can sit here on my couch, watch TV on the weekend, and just really have a few drinks and be good. Me personally, um, I can't even tell you the last time I was what you would consider to be drunk. I like to have a nice drink, nurse it a little bit, enjoy it, but I'm not. The room is not spinning afterwards.
No, we talked about that on
Yeah,
Monday. Um,
yeah,
the days of being drunk are well past these current years of my life. But I do want
yeah.
to do this. So, Billy, First off, thank you for joining the show tonight. We're at right at the hour. I'm going to
Okay.
get ready to end us, but please stand by because we're gonna do the after show. It'll be a few minutes, just hanging out for a few minutes.
Yeah, absolutely.
But hey, listen, for you guys following on the AW Shop or the Bourbon Nation or Nashville Bourbon or on, if you guys have shared it, please do share it on this page. You guys can share it on your own pages and stuff. But all of the other bourbon outlets out there. If you want to join, you want to hang out. This is all this is for us to get together, have a good time, talk bourbon, talk with our buddies, meet new people like Billy, for example, and Rob a couple weeks ago, and many others that have joined. It's all about having fun and just having a good time and being able to mitigate social distancing without ever leaving your house. So with that being said, don't drink and drive. Know your limits. Do not